So, at first I wrote the script. Then somehow you need to create your storyboard. You can use pictures from other comic books, photos of yourself, screenshots from movies, scan pages from old magazines, images from Google search, whatever. When symmetry and perspective are met, you could proceed to the next stage, which is called rotoscoping, and that means finding the edges. You can use any professional illustration or graphic software. All you need to do is open up the file, create a new layer on top, select the paintbrush tool, make it a little bit thin, and start tracing the edges. Modern software have an option to trace the edges automatically. I did it by hand. And then all you have to do is close the gaps of those lines so you can fill in with colors. At that point you have two choices. You can either improve your skill and become a real graphic artist, or you can pass over your work to an established graphic artist. Here is another frame. I started with a plain photo from a festival. I traced the edges, closed the gaps and applied basic colors, and then spent a million hours fine-tuning details. A necessity you are challenged to master is layering. For instance, I was in the need of a guy seated handing over two LSD trips. Finding that exact photo as you exactly want it is impossible. You have to improvise and create one on your own. So I found an open palm that seems like offering something, and I attached it to a guy seated who fulfilled the profile of my character. Here is another frame that didn't require a lot of manipulation. And here is the refurbished frame used in the episode. The third comic book was heavily based on screenshots that I took from the official Back to the Future movie. I made a collage and moved on to rotoscoping. For the final step, I hired professional graphic artists, and as you can tell, the difference is obvious. I didn't have a picture of a DeLorean flying over an open-air festival, so once again I had to use the technique of layering. I mixed two photos that have the correct perspective and symmetry. I encourage you to get your comic to the point where you are happy with the overall idea and the storyboard and perhaps the sketch, and then pass it over to a professional. The fourth episode was a bit shocking and kind of violent. The storyboard was made using photorealistic pictures, characters that I ripped off from other comic books, and comic art that I found on the web. I combined all that, and when the pictures were able to tell the story, I drew the edges, filled in basic colors, and then gave it to a professional to add his artistic flair. For the fifth and final episode, I photographed myself doing the grimaces required. The script consists of dialogue between me and my ex-girlfriend. My initial idea was to bring over a female friend of mine to do all the poses, but then I thought that I don't need to stress her out and not be happy with the results at the same time. So I said to myself, fuck it, I will get a wig and do fake boobs and photoshoot myself, and I did exactly that. Then I blended 2 or more photos into one and had both characters in the same frame. The next step was, of course, to rotoscope all the pictures and trace the edges. I applied colors and gave it over to a professional who made really good job here on this fifth episode. I used my comic book as a promotional tool to boost my music streams. So if you liked the comics, click the links below in the description and have a listen to my real art.